Hello there, this is Will from Travel with Will, Walks with Will, and we're in Budapest, Hungary. You can hear the nice church bells in the background. That's good timing. So I thought we'd start a little walk, kind of me saying my experience of the city, what I would do, what I wouldn't do. My favourite part of the city is what we're going to do, and it's from the Parliament building, which is here, to the St. Stephen's Basilica. You never know, we might bump into Ronald Reagan on the way. That's a promise, by the way. But let's start by looking at the Danube. If you just think of the history, it's come down this river. The chain bridge is under construction. I think it's open next year. And then over there, you've got most probably, that's the Buda side of town. You've most probably got the best view of the Parliament building from over there. And that's the Matthias Church. I apologise if I say some stuff wrong. I am an Englishman abroad, so we can get away with some bad pronunciation. That's a cool tram there, actually. Yes, so the Parliament building is amazing. I mean, it's the biggest building in Hungary, not just Budapest. And it's 96 metres high. And funnily enough, the Parliament building and the St. Stephen's Basilica, which is where we're walking to, are both exactly the same height. And that's because they started the Hungarian government in 896, so it's like a nice nod to the 96. You're going to see the dome in a minute, so that's the highest point. So the exterior of the building is neo-Gothic, neo-Baroque and neo-Romantic. It's a beautiful building. And I think the architect, actually went blind before the building was finished, so he never actually saw the masterpiece. Oh, it's stunning. Stunning. I think we'll actually walk around to the square. I would highly recommend getting a coffee or a beer in there. It's a little bit pricey. And I actually live in Geneva, Switzerland. So I know pricey stuff, but you know, you expect it in Geneva, Switzerland. And I kind of was saying to a friend of mine who's gone now, we all live in Geneva, and he said the same thing. He goes, I don't mind paying 7 francs for a beer in Zurich or Switzerland, but I didn't expect to have to pay, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 euros for a beer here. Yeah, so there's a few tourist traps. Just turn you around again. I will be going to Florence at some point, so we'll have to compare the domes. But I should imagine the one in Florence is pretty nice as well. So we're actually coming up to the square, so I'm going to turn you around and give you a look of the full square. As you know, the Walks with Will viewers, hello by the way, thank you for all the support on that channel. I started that during the lockdown, the COVID lockdown, as just a way of keeping sane, as with everyone else, and then it's become more and more popular. I will also apologise if you're very close to my face, because I forgot my stick. One of the joys of travelling abroad, can't just go home and get it. So this is actually the main entrance to the Parliament building. It's the 3rd largest national assembly in the world, and I think they really take great pride in their culture here. I've noticed that. The people are a bit, I think they're used to having a lot of tourists, so they're not they'll help you and they'll be very friendly. Because I've met some lovely people, but also I think it's a bit like if you lived in London, I should imagine, and you we're always around tourists, it can become a bit tedious. But yeah, I've not had a problem with any of the local people. I've met some really nice American people who live here. A guy who set up a bar from LA, Ruined Bruin, I think he was called. I'll put a description to David's bar in the box below, bless him. And yeah, I met some medical students from around the world. So a few from Norway, Canada, the US, a lady from Ireland. So yeah, I think it's a good place to come and study because it's cheaper. But I did also find out that prices have gone up by 30%. Another strange fact a local told me was that meat is cheaper than vegetables. I don't know if all of these things are true, but it's just what I've been told. And yeah, I have noticed it's not as cheap as people were telling me it was going to be. So I would definitely factor that in. If you want to do all the touristy stuff, then you're going to need about 50 euros a day, I should imagine. And the goulash and stuff like that, I paid 7 euros for a bowl of goulash. Excuse me. Right, so this is my favourite walk. And if you don't want to see my ugly face in the video, below are the Walks with Will walks where it's just walking, there's no me. But I kind of wanted to show you guys what I get up to while I do that channel, because I saw some beautiful places last year, some stunning places, which I might return to so I can do a little vlog like this. But yeah, we're heading towards Liberty Square. Just turn you round so you can see the lovely cafe. Yeah, so it's a lot of Italian restaurants, and I think that's because the food can be quite stodgy, the local food. Especially in the hot weather, you don't want to be eating goulash, although I did, but my palate is very British still, so stew and soup's a good idea for me. But yeah, there's a lot of Italian restaurants, a lot of Thai restaurants. It's basically like any other capital city. It's very beautiful. Every corner you turn around, there's a new building. And it's hot actually as well. A lot of the locals were saying everyone has aircon, which surprised me. Oh God, Ronald Reagan's here. Bloody hell. So of course Ronald Reagan is walking around Liberty Square. I hope not literally, because he should be in a coffin somewhere, shouldn't he? Bless him. But yeah, he's got the backdrop from the statue, I should imagine is pretty nice. We're gonna have a look now. These American tourists. There's Ronald Reagan. So as you can hear, that was some American tourists there. Might try and speak to some people on the way down there actually, if we can. But as soon as people see the camera, they don't want to talk to you. If I didn't have the camera, I'd most probably have just said a quick hello. Especially in Geneva, people don't like you with the camera. So this is Liberty Square. It looks like they've had some kind of festival here. It was the bank holiday weekend. I wonder if they were celebrating the Queen's Jubilee here. Right, so, oh, this is nice. Yeah, so that's some kind of communist historical fact there. Actually, we should just join in with this tour, shouldn't we? He knows more than me. I wonder if he'd know more about Geneva though. We'll be doing some vlogs of Geneva, by the way. Yes, so I'm guessing this was for the bank holiday. They must have had a music concert here. So yeah, I wanted to kind of give my opinion of the taxis and the public transport. I had a bad experience with the taxi driver. So basically I went out in the evening, had a few drinks, and ended up going back to the hotel without my friends, because we all went our own ways, which is normally what ends up happening after a few drinks. And so I gave the guy a note. I think it was a 10,000, and the taxi was something ridiculous. I think it was 6,000. So he pretended that I'd given him a 1,000, and I said to him, no, I just gave you 10,000. So I sat in there for 5 minutes saying to him, I've just seen you, because he did the trick where he takes the money and he puts it down the side, and then he pulls out the lower note. And I said, look, in your other hand is my money that I just gave you. And then he admitted it. So I went into the hotel and I said, this has just happened, is this normal? And he went, yeah. So yeah, that was an interesting scam. Oh, we got a lovely fountain here. So yeah, to just finish that off, I would use the taxis which have the company name on the side and not just the random yellow taxi, but they're both yellow, but one has like a sticker of a company and the other one is a private man, so he can do what he wants basically. That's very beautiful. And this is one thing about this city, everywhere you turn there is something amazing. Like for example, when I first did this walk, I didn't even know that the St. Stephen's Basilica was down this road, and I looked left and it just appeared. So yeah, another few facts about Budapest. The Rubik's Cube was invented here, and of course Harry Houdini is from Budapest as well, so two famous people. Franz Liszt, the famous composer, he also lived in Geneva, Switzerland. And if you've seen the Walks with Will channel, you will know where he lived, because I filmed it. Yeah, it's a really interesting place. I think the synagogue is stunning. It's one of the biggest in the world. I think it's the biggest in Europe. Another strange fact is the metro line. I think it's the second oldest in Europe, third oldest in the world, and it's the only one in the world which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And that goes to Hero Square. It's the Millennium Line, M1, the red one. And I've used it actually, and I got lost, I didn't know how to buy a ticket, and the ticket man was lovely. Funnily enough, he wanted to go and live in Ireland, so we had a good chat in English. Yeah, I've noticed the younger local people, they are very talkative. If you tell them where you're from, they'll be very curious about your life. So yeah, I think the thing here is they get their education and then they want to leave. And yeah, I actually met a girl who'd lived in England for a few years, and she had to leave because of Brexit and the COVID problem, and she doesn't like living here. And then I met another person who was learning to be a pilot for Ryanair, Ryan Dare as I call it, and he was living in Ireland, and he actually was really happy to move back here. So, you know, different strokes for different folks. Look into some of these bars. Yeah, there's a lot of like non-Budapest food down here. Yeah, it's a dreamy city actually. They call it the Eastern Europe of France. So it's like the Eastern Europe, Paris, oh, bloody hell. So Paris, it's the Eastern European version of Paris, Budapest. We got there in the end. Yeah, it's funny. I can see a big fat statue, and it looks like the belly's been rubbed a few times. So one of my things for you guys if you come is, before you look left at the basilica, you've got to rub the fat man's stomach for good luck. Let's have a little nosy. Oh, by the way, zebra crossings, they don't really exist here either, so you've got to watch when you cross the road. Here, look, she's getting some good luck. We're going to rub the fat man's stomach as well. Give him a tap, and then we turn around. So when I first walked down here and I saw that, I mean, God, it's stunning, and that's Budapest. Like, everywhere you go, there's something to look at. So I'm actually going to turn you around. Remember, this is the same size as the Parliament building, 96 metres. And we're going to walk towards it together.